Season 3 for Assassin's Creed Valhalla is over, but we of course know that there's going to be a 4th season, as we already saw in the post-launch trailer almost a year ago. Things have of course been slightly delayed, but it still seems that we're getting quite a lot of free content before the end of the year. And in my interview with Jose, I was already able to ask about this 4th season, and he said that there should be a surprise for us in there too. Okay. And the Reloads also leaked a new Halloween festival that should kick off this new season. So there's a ton to go over. If you of course enjoy the Valhalla content here, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video. And let's go. This is the final chance to enter my Helix credit pack giveaway for 2,300 credits. A link will be in the pinned comment. And of course you have to be a subscriber if you want to participate. Winner will be announced in the next Valhalla video, which is either going to be the weekly reset video if the Dark Knight pack releases. I think they're gonna launch that next week, but we will see tomorrow during the weekly reset stream. Now let's look beyond to the next update that we know is coming on Tuesday, October 19th, because that is when the Discovery Tour releases. So high chance that the update goes alongside that too. And the Discovery Tour is of course free for everyone who owns the game. You can buy it separately as well if you don't own Valhalla. It will also be coming as a standalone release to consoles this time, but in early 2022. So first thought, okay, this is the free content that we get with the update on October 19th. But no, seems like we also get that Halloween event very close to it. First, on the Discovery Tour, because Ubisoft actually shared some extra info, namely that instead of embarking on guided tours, the players will assume the roles of different characters and take on quests, which aims to bring them closer to the material by putting them at the center of it. So, sounds like a more engaging twist compared to the previous Discovery Tours. We also got some brand new screenshots and Andy Reloads in this video. A link of course to his channel will be in the video description. He noted about some rewards we are likely getting by playing the Discovery Tour. A new Elderman armor set with the helmet potentially looking like this. I really hope so. A new awesome looking sword should be a reward. A new ship, early medieval tattoos, and also an early medieval horse. Already went over these items before, including some extra info about the Discovery Tour, including the fact that we will be able to play Valka, and we now got a screenshot of that too. Link to that video in the video description as well. But yeah, again, the point is, that already seems like quite a lot of content, but seems like 2 days after October 19th, because festivals always launch 2 days after the update, we're also getting a Halloween event. Or I should say Oxoria Festival, and this also seems to include a free scythe called the Fall Fest Scythe in the files. They might change the name, but that of course makes sense that we get a free scythe during a Halloween themed festival. Just like the Yule Festival, we're actually picking up a completely new armor set this time, and I would not be surprised if it's inspired by the Draugr set or maybe the Huldufolk set. We've not seen any reskins of those armor sets, and especially the Draugr set is pretty creepy. Or maybe we get a Merry Loot armor instead of the cloak that we are of course forced to wear in Gloucestershire. I would actually be down for at least the mask as a single headpiece we can use over other gear. A new tattoo set should be included, new hair, and also a bony raven skin. And I really like the raven skins that we got so far from these festivals. And maybe there's like a skeleton bird or something. I guess we will see, but I'm totally curious. So to get these items, we of course have to do activities and missions to get the familiar tokens. And for the missions, we have a Wild Hunt team as referred to in the files. And there are many interpretations of the Wild Hunt with different leaders. For the Vikings, it was Odin, and the idea was that he with a group of hunters would pass by or actually fly by on a horse or another like vehicle sometimes, and maybe take your soul if you did not make sacrifices. So that's why Eivor says that the dead will hunt us if we don't honor them. So yeah, it seems like there will be a ship with sacrifice again, according to the files, so similar to the Sacred Blood Festival. But the files also hint at crossing the Veil and entering the Netherworld, which sounds kind of like that mission during the Ostara Festival, where we ended up fighting some ghost bears. This time a boss fight might be waiting for us there, so maybe similar to that Valkyrie fight at the start of the Mastery Challenges. And more on the Mastery Challenges in a moment, by the way. I don't want to share more info about these missions, because I think that would kind of ruin the fun. I agree they do sound cool though, but so far I've not been impressed by the festival missions. So I'm personally keeping my expectations low and hopefully we will be surprised. As for the activities, we're getting a new tournament where we have to fight within the fog of war, so curious what that entails. But this time we'll likely get to use our own weapons, but have to pick an armor set instead for each challenge. And one will increase our strength but lower our defenses, and one gear set has a limit room for rations. So that actually doesn't sound that bad. And my theory is that we of course were introduced to the one-handed swords during the tournament in the previous festival, so maybe this time we already can wear the new armor set. And maybe when we then buy that new armor set, it has similar perks, so more strength but less defense. Because I really like that idea, but I hope it works better than what we saw with the Jormungandr set that only increased your damage taken in exchange for melee damage. But yeah, melee damage doesn't really do a lot, so it basically only increased the amount of damage you would take. A brand new activity seems to be a horse race, which makes sense in a way with Wild Hunt being the team. We have to race Ake, who we of course know from the other festivals, and there should be barriers to break, targets to hit, and a time limit. So there's more depth than who races the fastest. Might actually be a fun activity during a festival. And then last but totally least is the archery challenge. I tried everything, but she's always here and had of course a different role during the previous festival, but now according to the files we need an archery challenge to test our skills according to Eivor. I want to see a poll. I think most people would disagree. No, but they are changing it up. You namely score points for hitting the right targets and lose points for hitting the wrong ones. Okay. All I need to know is if the lady has new lines. Did they record any new lines? I don't want to hear the same stuff again. Then I'm not touching it.
Players love incredible shooting.
It will likely still be the best way to farm these tokens though. We will see if I touch it when it eventually releases in October. But yeah, what happens after that? I think they will do 2 more releases in the last 2 months of the year. But then they have to speed up production because there are less than 12 months after October 19th. Either way, I would not be surprised if the update after this, so in November, will include new mastery challenges. I namely asked Jose about that armor set that Hildurin mentioned in the final cutscene. Hildurin in the cutscene, when you open the cave, she talked about an armor set for helping her, but we did not see that armor set yet. We of course already had the weapons in the shop. Is that something that was planned? Yeah, she does promise you that, doesn't she? Sorry?
She does promise you that.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, where's that armor set?
It's coming. It'll be part of the next set, yeah.
Okay. I would, by the way, not be surprised if the armor set is the one Hildurin was wearing in that first boss encounter, or likely a variant of that, but still some sort of reskin of the Valkyrie armor. It gets more interesting though, because Jose also hints at a secret for this 4th season, after I ask about a new game mode being part of it.
So you will, I will say this, there's not exactly a game mode.
Okay.
But there's at least one thing that you totally don't expect.
Oh wow.
And if we manage to not have any leaks, and if we manage to keep it secret, you're literally going to say, I did not see this coming.
Okay, your theories are more than welcome in the comments down below. Good to note is that this interview was at the start of August, so this was before the Odyssey Valhalla crossover rumors and leaks started. So I think it is that, but I will save some details for a future video I've planned. I don't want to spoil too much about this, because I also personally just want to experience it for myself, don't want to ruin it for myself. But yeah, you likely know that these rumors are out there, right? I think that he's teasing that, but we will see. And I also think that the Mastery Challenges Part 2 will still be this year, but that is not confirmed. Still, seems like Valhalla is going out with a pretty big bang, and when we know more, I will of course be the first to tell you here, so totally subscribe for everything Valhalla if you haven't already. A like on the video would really help me out, and you can check out my previous video on secret changes that were added with the most recent updates by clicking on the screen. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.